Is this the Rookie CEO podcast?
Yeah, I think we're in the right place.
Oh, Hev, it's recording. This is Fuzz.
And I'm Heath, and you're listening to the Rookie CEO podcast. Welcome back, everyone. So today we are joined with Caroline Hallett from the Kent Foundation. Thank you for joining us. So today we're going to be talking about how we can utilise local support, and the Kent Foundation is a fantastic way of people local in Kent that they can do that. So do you want to introduce yourself and a bit about the foundation?
Sure. Thanks. So my name's Caroline Hallett. I'm the director of the Kent Foundation. We're a charity. We've been going for over 40 years, and we're set up to help people under the age of 40 set up and grow their own business in Kent. But if you're not in Kent and you're thinking to yourself, well, is there something similar for me? The best place to start is your local council. Go to your local council's website, have a look on what they've got for business support, and they will list all of the various different organisations that are working locally with them and see which ones are there to help you. There will be something within your local authority. It just might look a little bit different to what we offer.
So how do you find that? So I am an ambassador for the Kent Foundation in the area. So
You have to stick that in early.
I have to, just to get. I haven't got my badge on.
I didn't bring the Ferrero Rocher, but yeah, one of our ambassadors.
So I have had a mentor from the Kent Foundation for a long time. What do you find that mentees get the most benefit from?
It really depends. Some of the people that we support don't ever even get to the point of having a mentor. They'll get in touch with us. They might want some information or some advice about loans or grants or some networking advice. Someone, or somebody. Do you know anyone who does this? And so a lot of our initial point of call with people is literally just a bit of signposting. I don't know, but do you know someone who does? And then we go sort of through a funnel and a process that gets eventually to someone being matched with a mentor. And it's only really if it's right for them. So we find that people who haven't yet started their business, perhaps they're at the exploring stage, they might need a bit of help, but a mentor is not necessarily the sort of help they're going to need, because your experienced business person is coming in all cylinders firing, and it's like, well, where's your business idea? And what about your pricing? What have you done with this? Whereas somebody at that starting point. So we've got an online business course for them where they can sort of work through at their own pace. We also offer a face-to-face business course where you can find out how to write a business plan, what does a business canvas template look like, all the beginning, starting stuff. And then when you eventually get to the mentor, it's really up to you. That mentor conversation, they are your critical friend. It's like having a business mum or dad, but they're not mum or dad. One of the disadvantages of having mum or dad is that they only really want the best for you. So they know what you're like, and they're going to say things that aren't necessarily in the best interest of your business. Whereas an independent business mentor, it will hold you accountable to what the business needs. With you, it's very much driven. You know yourself, having had a mentor, it's driven by you. If it's not something you want to work on or you don't think is important for your business, you can move on to the next subject.
Yeah. Do you think it's important for people to kind of have different mentors for different stages of life and business? Do you think the mentor relationship needs to evolve, and it's okay maybe to branch out if you need to? Absolutely.
And I think it's more about understanding what that word mentor means and what it could mean. For some people, they think it's a coach. There's a whole wealth of different business service offering. Some people need a coach. They need that persistent coaching of a weekly check-in with someone who's going to tell them what to work on and then hold them accountable to working on that thing. There are other people who need a consultant. There's a specialist set of skills that they want. Perhaps it's something that they don't know how to do, or they do know how to do, but they want to branch out into a subsection of it. You're going to look to buy in someone's skills, and that's going to be a consultant. So there is a wide we have quite a gamut of what sort of skills fit into a coaching role, which sort of skills fit into a consulting role, and what is pure mentoring. But ultimately, there's a really good definition of mentoring. I'm just looking at my paperwork, but it facilitates and encourages mentees to find their own solutions to their problems. So it's the problem that you've identified, and it's helping draw out for you a solution that works for you because you've helped co-create it. Whereas a consultant is going to come in and say, well, this is wrong and that's wrong, and here's what I think you need to do about it. So there is a difference between how those people work. But for sure, a good mentor will adapt as you grow, as you learn more, and as you do things, they will grow with you and they will adapt with you. But there are going to be times in your business journey where you do need a coach, or you may need a consultant, because they all bring different things. And it might be that perhaps you struggle with your presentation skills, or you struggle with financial work, that you will then get a consultant or a coach in. That's something a mentor wouldn't necessarily work on with you.
Yeah, because I know me personally, I have a mentor, but I also have a coach that I have to pay for as well, because the mentor is more, he kind of talks to me like, oh, what's been bothering you? Like, is there a client that's like you're not enjoying working with and stuff like that? Whereas my coach is like, okay, pricing structure, what we're doing about this, like, let's go. So I find the two work really well for me. I don't know what you, Sam.
Well, I've not actually had a mentor. I'm not really sure why, but I haven't. But I have invested in multiple coaches over the last 12 months. Each specific sort of like target, like a communication coach, a business coach, and a life coach. I really needed it at the beginning of my sort of like, I wish I'd done it sooner. It was just the funding really. And I hadn't actually heard of the Kent Foundation until the Rookie CEO, funnily enough. And I advised it to everyone. And I actually advised it to somebody recently who had already signed up. So they were looking for a mentor. The Kent Foundation couldn't find the right mentor for them. So they came directly to me. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I sign up to the Kent Foundation? Do I just do it off the back? Like what like, so like, now going on to more of a mentor perspective, what is the benefits for a mentor to sign up to the Kent Foundation?
So it's interesting to sort of briefly touch on, you can't find the right one. Sometimes that happens because we don't have a bank of employed mentors. Our mentors are all volunteers. Exactly. And so if we can't find the right match, we'll tell someone, look, I haven't got a really good match for you right now. We'll keep you on our books. We'll try and match you, but I don't want you to spend time on someone who's not going to be a good match for you. Yeah. And also sometimes people come in with an expectation of a coach or a consultant, and we'll actually say, look, I don't really think this is what you're looking for. It's the old Star Wars things. These are not the droids you're looking for. Because it's all voluntary. And so what does a mentor get out of it? A wonderful sense of satisfaction of giving back, of being able to help someone not make the mistakes they made. An opportunity to share and to learn. I think ultimately we love teaching other people things. If there's something we're good at, there is an inherent feel-good factor when you share that good at something with someone. And that's what our mentors get, that feeling of I'm helping the next generation. And also, most of them are invertebrate entrepreneurs. They can't help themselves. And they love a business. And they love getting a business to work. And so being able to help the next generation is the ultimate feel-good thing. It gives them the satisfaction.
100% agree with that. I think I was doing it naturally without actually knowing it. And it is, for me, it's just the dopamine hit, to be honest with you. And that's what keeps us all going, really.
Absolutely.
So on that point then, when do you think is the right time? Whether that's a point in the business, do you think there's a right time to become a mentor? Like, do you think you kind of have to be at a certain point in your career?
So one of the things I always say is you need to have been there, done that, and got the T-shirt. It doesn't matter what age you are. Have you had that experience? So I've recently trained a mentor who is in his mid-30s. And you might think, well, hang on a minute, he's still in the catchment age group for your being a mentee. But he had 15 years experience of running his own business, having 2 businesses fail on him, having a 3rd business be successful, which he then sold on for great profit. So he'd been through all of the life cycle challenges and had some really good experience that we felt would be great to share with people. So there isn't I think in the past with the Kent Foundation, maybe in the last sort of 10 years ago, it tended to be the retired bank manager type profile, someone who had a professional role as a business advisor or mentor who was in their retirement and looking for something to keep active. So there was and they're lovely. But we love them to pieces. They're dear, wonderful business mentors. But now we're seeing more people who are in their 40s who have been through a life cycle journey, run their own business. So we're ultimately looking for been there, done that, got the T-shirt, rather than an age or a number of years. The question I say to mentors is, tell me about the things that went wrong in your business journey. And I want people to then tell me that, oh God, this happened, and then I did this, and then I did that. And if they can evidence that journey, because we learn by failing. No one gets it right first time.
Yeah, definitely.
What else does Foundation specifically then offer other than mentors?
At the moment, we're obviously constrained by funding. There's only so much that we can do. So we offer an opportunity. We sponsor Rookie CEO. We encourage people to come along to your meetups. We offer networking opportunities, so we can put people in touch with each other. If they come to me and say, I need a somebody who can do websites. Do you know someone who does this, who does that? We offer a website with webinars and resources that you can access. There's a wide range of things, but predominantly the key offer is that funnel to mentoring, getting you to that point where you're being ready to be mentored.
Nice. And at what point do you think it's peak for a business or a person, to sign up to the Kent Foundation as a mentee?
In your journey, I think you need to have launched. I think, we can help you pre-launch with getting a business plan together, getting a business idea, but there's a lot of really good resources online for doing that. One of the ones we like to recommend is Enterprise Nation. So if you go to their website, they've got a wonderful journey that will walk you through how to do a business plan, how to do a marketing plan, all of those kind of getting ready, researching activities. We want them to have done all of that, because then they've got something to talk about with their business mentor rather than just an idea.
Hey Hev, have you heard of IT Managed Services? They're an IT support service based in Kent.
Yeah, I've been with them for over a year now. I love being able to just call them at any point and they take over my computer and fix the issue so much quicker than spending hours on Google.
Why have you kept that to yourself all this time? Right, I need to sign up to these guys. What's their website?
It's it-ms.co.uk or you can call 01634 218 362.
I've got one or two mentors who quite like doing the pre-launch stuff, but most don't.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit too catchy in the windy. It's a bit too ephemeral. They want actual hard-nosed business stuff. So ideally, the time to come and talk to a mentor is as you've launched. We find usually people come to us when they've been doing their business for about a year and things haven't gone the way they thought they would.
Okay.
That first year is, I don't know about you, but in your experiences, that first year is very much you can kid yourself in that first year because you tell yourself, customers will come. I've built it, they'll come. I'm just starting out. Of course, it's a bit slow, and alternatively, oh my God, this is crazy. Hopefully it'll calm down. All of those things that go wrong in that first year, you tend to just get on and do yourself. You tend to just go and do. And so when those things stop working or people start running out of money or things start looking and they look backwards and think, gosh, this is not where I thought I would be at this point, that tends to be the point at which we step in. We've got a good relationship with our local Kent and Medway Enterprise Fund people. So there will be a similar business funding organisation in every local authority where you can apply for loans through your growth fund. So there's a growth fund hub within each area. And we get referrals if the person's the right age group. We get referrals from that too, because if they're just about to take on rather a large loan to grow their business, having a mentor is a really good idea. It helps make that journey a little bit more sustainable.
Isn't it?
Do you think people let's just talk like Kent at the minute, just as obviously the same in every area, but do you think enough people take advantage of these sort of things or know they even exist?
No, I think you don't know what you don't know. I think too many people don't necessarily. There is a fallacy, and you sort of need to address the fallacy that there's somehow a magic money tree and someone's going to give you money to set up a business. And there's a group of people who genuinely believe that that's the case. Surely the government will pay me to set up a business. Or, there's a grant I can get for this. There must be some money. There isn't. There are very few grants available for business these days. There are some loan schemes and they come with different clauses and different risks. It might sometimes be cheaper to take the money out of your bank account. Yeah. It might be cheaper to borrow from a family member. There are lots of different benefits and risks of business finance from wherever you might look at it. But people don't tend to reach out to their local networks until things start to feel a bit pinchy. When you first start your business, you've got your idea, you know where you're going to go with it, you're going to test it with some friends and family all encouraging, because that's the thing about family, they are always encouraging, or they'll dismiss you and then undermine your confidence. There's one or the other. Yeah. You're either going to have a raging family cheerleading squad or people saying, oh, for goodness sake, why don't you give it up and get a job?
Yeah.
One or the other. And what your mentor will do is give you that balance of, well, would you be better off on a job? Would you be better off doing this? And self-employment is not for everyone.
No.
Even if you can be a fantastic practitioner, you know, an amazing photographer or a really good makeup artist. Being a self-employed makeup artist is very different.
100%, I completely agree.
And so whilst you may have had lots of success in your life when you were working for someone else, taking that big leap and being not just a beautician anymore, but also an accountant, an advertising specialist, an HR officer, a toilet cleaner, and all of the things that you have to do now you've discovered you're the business owner, can take its toll on people.
And how is it funded? I know like Ken Foundation, but other support as well.
So more often than not, any sort of support that we offer is either going to be a charitable organisation or a government-funded body. Back in the day, there used to be an organisation called Business Link, and Business Links were a sort of a uniform service offered across the country, offering what we do: business support, mentoring, business growth, workshops. As time's gone on and times have got harder, government funding has ceased for things like that. We're very lucky here in Kent. We're funded through Kent County Council with a small grant that enables us to keep the wheels turning. Whether that continues as times get harder, we don't know.
Do you fundraise as well, or is it just...
No, we don't fundraise, mainly because it's quite a difficult ask. We've done some fundraising consultancy work on whether people would pay for something like this. And there is the feeling of, well, it should be a paid-for service. And our trustee board strongly believe that's not the case. We strongly believe that, yes, I mean, in your case, you've got a coach that you pay for because there's a specific piece of work that you want to do with that coach. And then you've got a mentor as well that is a volunteer who's happy to work with you and happy to do that relationship. I think having both is great. And we wouldn't want to make our service a paid-for service because that's not why our mentors got involved.
Just listening to your conversations that you have with your mentor, or listening, but sometimes actually I do.
You listen? I mean, we do say it's a one-to-one relationship. Are you just a little bit jealous that you don't have a mentor?
But your feedback that you give me on that, I think it actually helps that it's not paid for, because it actually promotes more of an organic connection and a relationship. And you have nothing bad to say about your mentor. In fact, it's like the complete opposite. It's amazing things that you say about them. So
no, and like my mentor in particular, he sees me very regularly. And this is a volunteered basis. I see him probably more than I'd see my paid business coach, because you can't afford to see a paid business coach that much. And it is more just general chit chat of like, oh, here's what's going on. And I think I've mentioned this in previous episodes, just talking about something. You kind of talk yourself off the edge without them even saying anything. It's just someone that's like, obviously me and you talk to each other, but we're both very in rookie. Just talking to someone that's a complete third party. It's not a family member. It's not a business partner. It's no one that's involved with your business. Just giving a general opinion or general advice. I think it's really helpful, and especially having the coach and the mentor, because coaches aren't always telling you the right things. So it's good to have, again, that third opinion. You could be like, oh, my coach has been telling me that I should do this.
Especially for sole traders. Like, I was really lucky we got an office together, because I didn't really see the benefit until it happened. And actually, like, if you are a sole trader, if you are working from home, you know, it's becoming more and more impossible to co-work nowadays, especially this year with all these business rates going up. You know, or having that mentor opportunity is
it's a lonely job when you run your own business, because you front yourself out to your clients or your customers. You know, that there is that professional persona that you put on when doing the business, but then when you actually come down to it, it's more often than not a guy or a gal in a room on their own, pedaling as fast as they can to keep going. And having someone who knows you, who can say, it's hard work on that bike, isn't it? That's what you need, as well as the coach. And there is a clear place for coaching, consultancy, and mentoring. They all sort of sit together in the same place. A mentor won't normally tell you what to do. A mentor will draw out all of the pros and cons of each of the decisions, a little bit of root cause analysis. Is this really the problem? Could it actually be this? And they ask more questions than they answer. And the point is to get you to find your own solution. Because from there, it's more authentic and it's more you. A consultant will come in or a coach and try and get you to be potentially something you're not. because it's about getting to the end goal rather than you. Whereas a mentor is much more about, so what do you want to work on? Where are your problems? What do you need? It's a much more different approach.
Yeah, and I think especially like when you look at a coach-mentor relationship, a coach could say to you, you need to up your prices by this percentage. If you say that to, I've had this before, I said that to my mentor, and he's like, they know your relationships with these clients. They're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Have you thought about how much that might damage this relationship? Can you maybe manage that better? So I think it's like having that kind of the balanced opinion.
Yeah. 100% agree. Right, we actually have a question from
a
our
previous guest.
Okay.
Yes. So the previous guest asked, what is the best compliment someone can give you?
Wow, that's a hard one. The best compliment that someone can give you.
So if you were like...
It can be in a business sense, it can be in a personal sense.
And you weren't in the room, what would you hope?
No, that's a completely different question. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
The question's quite
I'm
simple.
confused now. I'm like a rabbit in headlights.
The question was quite simple.
I think the biggest compliment that someone can give you is something that sees you for who you are. Because we all put on that face, and we all do those things. But when someone says, "I see you for who you are," you know, something. It might be that they'll say, "Oh, I really liked when you did that. It was kind. It was. I want to be thought of. I think I don't necessarily need to be liked, but I don't want people to ever think of me as unkind."
Yeah.
It's the way you say that. I see you for who you are.
I see you.
It's definitely it's a different approach.
I don't necessarily. Yeah, that gets a bit weird then. If I see you. When you're sleeping, particularly. No, I'm joking. But I think
Santa Claus.
I am, of course, Mrs. Santa. I think that it is about the biggest compliment is when someone sees you doing a good thing and notices that good thing. I think, but actually, for me, the bit that a compliment is something that always makes you feel a little bit warm and fuzzy inside. And for me, that's actually when someone says you helped me. So I like helping people, and I can't help myself. If someone says, "Oh, I'm really struggling with this," I'm like, yes, I know someone who can do that. Let me connect. You know, I'm a natural helper, whether you want it or not. No, I'm joking.
I'm the same. I love that. Yeah.
So for me, if someone had said, "You really helped me," or "That really helped my friend," or "That piece of advice," or "That thing that you did," that for me would be the thing. I think.
The dopamine hit.
And then, what question would you like to give the next guest? Whether that's mindset, whether it's business, or something you just genuinely like asking people when you meet them.
Okay, so this is a question that I got asked on an interview once, and I was the interviewer interviewing someone for a job, and at the end I said to them, "So have you got any more questions that you'd like to ask us?" Standard interview question, and this was for a youth work job. Someone I was hiring as a youth worker. She's actually now still a very successful youth worker working further up. But so the question she asked me was, if you were a biscuit, what kind of biscuit would you be and why?
Okay.
Oh, I love that. I get to write that in my notes to ask the guests.
I'm thinking now our brains are going round like, I don't know what biscuit.
So what biscuit would you be?
No, that's going to be
You're not going to answer the question. Save it for a special
episode. Yeah.
On to the biscuits.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're
Caroline.
welcome.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We'll see you in the next episode of The Rookie CEO.
See you later.
Bye.